Okay, so I just woke up and I had another dream or visions. This one was about my pregnancy. I was outside in a parking lot, and it looked like there were businesses around, and there were cars. There were people in cars driving through the parking lot, and I saw some of the people, and I felt like some of them were like surveilling me. And in the dream, I said there was something about my pregnancy. I was thinking about the baby when I went to sleep here last night. I'm on the couch, and I was thinking about how small I was and the movements that I could feel, like the hands and feet and stuff. And in the dream, I thought, when I saw these cars driving around me, I thought about they know how long you have been carrying the baby for a long time, a long time, and it's alive. And so that kind of scared me a little bit, um, for them to know how long I've been carrying. And then so when I saw them driving around, I was like, it was something about my pregnancy. And then it's like I heard the Holy Spirit say that there's like a multi-million-dollar lawsuit about the pregnancy while they were driving around uh, in the parking lot. And I said, well, I thought back to some of the videos that I have on YouTube, on some of my other channels, where I was like passed out, on the side of the road, and I was pregnant with this child. And some of the views of my stomach were where it looked like my stomach was very, very small. And I heard the Holy Spirit say something like, and I was screaming in videos about food, saying, "Stop starving me." And then I thought about it. So the Holy Spirit was just like, the view of her stomach, when I saw the people driving around me, it was like the view of her stomach. And then, what's up? Good morning. And then, good morning. So, the Holy Spirit was basically showing me like the view of her stomach. Like, okay, I'll show y'all a little bit right now. So as y'all can see, it's not really that big, but it's alive. Yeah, it's touching my hand now. Oh, a lot. Oh my God. It's hitting me. It's a baby. Oh my God. So anyway, my stomach is like really small. And so the Holy Spirit was like showing me like, or well, saying something like, well, stomach look kind of funny on a lot of them videos, that I have on my channel. Um, and then I'm gonna show y'all like standing up. And then the Holy Spirit was like, oh, let y'all see me getting up. Oh, God. Here it is. This is the baby bump right there. So it's not that big. Yeah, it's not that big. Maybe I need to lay back down though. Yeah, so this is it. Alright. So the Holy Spirit was showing me like well, he said something about like her stomach, on some of the videos. So I'll show you a different angle. Like it looks like just kind of flat, almost. So sometimes people might see me in person and be like, what's going on? But yes, I am pregnant. I'll probably do a separate video with the camera facing my stomach and showing the baby kicking. Because I do a lot of those videos as well for people who may not believe that the baby is alive or whatever. But these people that were kind of surveilling me, they knew that it was alive. And the Holy Spirit was just like, well, the videos of her stomach. And I remembered like the being passed out or, like just showing my stomach where it was like really, really small. And then the Holy Spirit was like, and um, the videos of her screaming, stop starving me, or, make them stop starving me. And then I saw the car surveilling me, and I heard the Holy Spirit say something about the lawsuit, like, well, she's getting millions of dollars about this pregnancy. And yeah, the videos were bad. The videos of her stomach and her talk, telling them to stop starving her. He was showing me those videos were bad, but he was showing me like, but at least when she win her money, it's a settlement about it. God was like, at least when she win her money, people will know that she deserved her money. She deserved to win her money, and it was about the starvation. And the Holy Spirit said something about like they should have helped the baby. They should have helped. So it was something about the Holy Spirit, like she was telling the truth. I don't know if I got the baby out or whatever, but the Holy Spirit was like, that's crazy that she was pregnant the whole time. She was pregnant the whole time. And she was asking for help. And it was like the Holy Spirit was like, y'all should have helped her because turns out she was pregnant with this little baby, and the videos are up showing how bad her stomach was and showing her saying, stop starving me. So he was like, when she wins the money, the millions of dollars, everybody will know that she deserved to win her millions. She deserved to win her money. Um, and he was basically just showing like all the people that were surveilling me and different people around, like that, it was kind of crazy to them that I really was carrying a little baby while going through that kind of abuse. And God was like, that y'all should have just helped. So I guess once I get the baby out, then people maybe can understand uh, that someone should have helped instead of making me continue to post videos about it. But anyway, so I'm actually up. I'm finna get up because I have to go do some things. Um, this guy, he's been nice, but he doesn't really want us here. He doesn't really want us here. So he tried to have like a sexual relationship with me, and like make me his girlfriend, but I wouldn't have sex with him without condoms. I refuse to do that. God specifically told me with another guy that I had met, and he was helping me, and he didn't want to use condoms. And so God told me not to do that. He was like, don't even do anything with your hand to their genitals without protection, because he was just like, you can catch stuff. So I told the male that I wouldn't do anything without protection. And he basically just said that I wasn't his kind of girl and that he was going to invite over a girl that he had been talking to before he met me. He said I could stay and like be his roommate or whatever, but then he said no, he didn't want to do that, and so he was basically like, just having you here is messing up what he wants to do in his own home. So he said that he wants us to leave by tomorrow. He wants me to leave by tomorrow. I was sleeping in the room with him and everything. He brought her over here a couple of days ago and has been having her in the room. But I had already been having some issues with him because when I first got here, I had some donations, so I was able to get me some food. And then when I would ask him to take me to get something, he didn't want to take me to get the food. And he was like, oh, well, you can just eat something that's in there. And I'm like, well, if I have the money and I'm pregnant and I know how small I am, then I'm going to eat what I want. I don't have a problem getting food from the grocery store and cooking it. But I need food in here. There was like one pack of chicken that he kept unthawing and leaving out on the counter that it's not good if you're pregnant to keep eating meat that's constantly being refroze and left out in the sink for a whole day, So I ended up going and getting some more money for food, and I put some food inside of the house, and he told me he wanted me to leave, but the night that she came, um, we talked about this because I was still trying to like kind of work with him, but he was like, well, he took out his penis and he was like, well, you gotta let me put it in you without a condom. And I just was like, no, I can't do that, and I told him that God told me not to do it. Well, that I'm not, supposed to do that. And then so I don't know him like that. I just met this guy within the past 2 weeks. So I didn't know anything about the other women or anything like that. But he told me, he was like, well, just, let me rub on it and touch it and all of this. And I was like, I can't do anything without protection. I was like, why don't you just have protection in the house, in case something happened. He was like, no, I can't have sex without. He was like, I don't use condoms. I can't have sex with condoms. I'm having sex with 2 women without condoms, and I refuse to uh, have anything to do with you intimately if you don't let me do this. And so I told him no. And then he got on the phone and called her, and she walked in the door. She came over and was like, oh, she's very pretty. And she started trying to talk to me. And, I was, cordial. And then so she's been over here and they've been sleeping in the room together. And I've been sleeping on the couch. And I had a vision about my son asking for help last night. And then I was thinking about the baby. And this morning, I had the vision about the lawsuit about the pregnancy. So I told him I was going to go out today because I need to try to get some money for food. But he wants me to leave tomorrow. And he says he's going to try to help me out when I leave. But basically, I'm leaving with nowhere to sleep, no shelter, nowhere to go, or anything like that. And I went to sleep stressing about my pregnancy last night. So, by me seeing that vision, it just makes me wonder, like, okay, God, am I going to finally get the baby out? Because, I'm tired of being homeless and being pregnant. I do want to win my lawsuit. But another thing was um, I saw a vision about somebody going broke that's a celebrity. But that was in the same vision about my lawsuit. So another thing is like when I was asking him for food, like we went to the store and he was saying he was gonna buy me some dresses, like he wanted to buy me some clothes. And then when I asked him to take me to get some food, I told him, I said, "Don't buy me clothes." I said, "I'm pregnant. Buy me food." You see what I'm saying? And well, he was like, I'll buy you something to eat too or whatever. This you got $50 or whatever, and you can get some clothes and some food. So I said, okay. So I spent 30 on the clothes, and then it was time to go get me some food. And when we got to the drive through to get my food, he started saying he lost his card with the money on it. And I was looking like, okay, so he trying to have us up in the house, you know what I'm saying, where we don't have nothing to eat, and then he had the money to get it. And so I was like, nah. And then something else happened where I had my own money, and he still tried to stop me from getting the food. And I had my own money, and then so he said he took me to get some food, but I got it. I was responsible for how it was paid. And then when I brought it back here, he was all like, "Oh yeah, I gotta leave." So I just want to put y'all up on that. There was a problem with me. I ate, but it was a problem with me having the food, getting the food, and he was trying to talk slick, like, "Oh, you like to eat out every day, and that's expensive and all this all kind of stuff." I'm like, you're not even having to pay for it all the time. He only paid for us some food a couple of times. And then he tried to take me out to eat. And I looked very beautiful that night, but he's not my boyfriend, and I am famous, even though I have some issues, going on with me where I'm not financially stable. I don't have a significant other. There's someone that I crush on, but I didn't want to be seen in public with him at the restaurant because he was trying to like force me to be his girlfriend. Where it was like we hang out, we like each other, we're friends, but are you starting to put a label on the relationship while I'm here without actually discussing with me that you're trying to have a relationship? So, when we went into the restaurant, of course, there was a lot of people looking and coming around us, and I was just like, "Can we just get it to go?" Because I had just wanted to get something to eat, and he said he didn't have the money, and then he called me back, and he was like, "Hey, get dressed." No, he was like, "Hey, be ready. I'm gonna take you out." I had on the same outfit that I had on in my video Voodoo. So if y'all look my channels, I have a video called Andrea Jones, and the video is titled the song Voodoo. So I had that outfit on, and when we walked into the restaurant, I was like, "Can we just get it to go?" Because, I am famous, and there are a lot of people around in public places, and as soon as they see me, sometimes they just come around, and then when we're sitting down, eating, and then people are looking at us, I don't really mind, but I do mind someone trying to make it seem like I'm their girlfriend because I was in a position where I needed somewhere to stay. Even if we did mess around, it doesn't mean that I'm your girlfriend, you know. And I didn't feel comfortable with that. I don't feel comfortable being shown off in public like I'm someone's girlfriend. And we're just like messing around or hanging out or whatever, or you're letting me have a place to stay. So when I find out about these other two women, it was kind of crazy because I started scrolling through he let me see his phone, and I saw one of the women on Facebook, and she was an older woman. She was much older than him. And then when I seen her, I'm like, the type of woman. I ain't trying to judge her. She seemed like she good with her kids and everything like that, but it just seemed like we were just different types of women. And that drew the concern for me, like, okay, you know what I'm saying? If he's talking to her, it's like, I don't think I'm really his type. And so then he brought over this girl, and when she came over, she just had her hair all over her head. She looked like she, like, you know how they leave me on the streets. She came from a family member's house, but she looked like she just came straight off the street. You know, like hair all over her head and uh frumpy looking clothes and all that. And I'm just like, you know, she gonna give him what he want. Right before she come in the door, he was trying to get me to do it. And so he was like, oh well, you know, if I want safe sex, then I'll let you know, you know, la la. And I just got so disgusted because I even told him, I said, you shouldn't be wanting to have sex with three people without a condom. He was like, well, he was like, I'm the only man who they having sex with, you know. And then I guess he was gonna add me onto it, you know, and be like, well, he having sex with all three of us without condoms or whatever, and we ain't having sex with no other man but him. And when she came trying to talk to me, they invited me to come watch a movie with them and stuff, and I was just like, nah, I don't feel comfortable with that because, you know, she ain't my type, you know. I am bisexual, but you know, I'm like, I'm not interested in her. And I'm not interested in going in and being finessed to do anything with the woman as well. So I just stayed in the living room, and they, like I said, they've been cool. They've been respectful. You know, like I asked him, you know, could I stay a little longer? Well, no, he told me he wanted me to leave or whatever. So I'm just here in his house or whatever. But I feel good about not having the intercourse with him based off of that, you know. So it's like, if I want to do it, if I feel like I want to have sex with this man without a condom, or I want to have sex with a man without a condom, then that's my decision. There's nothing wrong with that, you know, if that's your choice. But if I feel like I was just in a bad position, and I feel like that makes me feel taken advantage of. Like, it does, regardless of if it's like, that's not his baby and you in his house, he being nice to you. Yeah, that's fine. I understand everything from his point of view. But from my point of view, you know, as well, it's like, if I didn't love him, it makes me feel taken advantage of. Because it's like, oh, I was forced to give my body to someone, uh, basically for a place to stay while they were raping my son, while Cynthia and Austin and them were raping my son. I don't know if he's okay now, but that when you're dealing with someone raping your child and then grown people is trying to force you to do stuff, I feel like he was manipulating me. You know, I felt manipulated. I felt forced. I felt like I didn't have a choice, but to put myself at risk. Even if he didn't have anything, if you don't know for sure, then you're putting yourself at risk. Um, and so, like, it's been very disrespectful, but the Holy Spirit have been with me, and keeping everything about my kids and my life. So the Holy Spirit have been showing me visions of my baby daddy, my son, and we just talked about my lawsuit this morning. So, you know, tomorrow I have to be out of here. You know, I have to be out of here, and um I can't do that with him. And I told myself, I said, even if you would have did it, like, even if you would have did it, he still would have kept messing with this girl. It still would have been something. He probably would have tried to have y'all doing stuff together with him, you know, and it would have been uncomfortable. So he withdrew like pretty much all his help from me. Like, he won't help us do anything while I'm here. So he was taking me places at first, but now he's taking her places. And then I have to get on the bus and go where I need to go today. And then tomorrow, he wants me to leave. He wants us to leave. And we're not going to have anywhere to go. But I do feel good about my decision, because I do have a lot of respect for my body. And it makes me feel good to be able to walk away from the situation knowing that I didn't have sex with him unprotected. I feel like I have some dignity about myself. Um, and I just want to keep my focus on my children. Um, so I'm going to be leaving here tomorrow. And I'm going to be in the same position where it's going to be like she won't have anywhere to go unless it's some man, bringing her somewhere. And depending on how the man is, it'd be the same situation. Because another thing I forgot to tell y'all, this is very important, is about my identification. I told him that my identification was lost when my wallet was lost a couple of weeks ago. And he was saying that we could be roommates. So he asked me, he was like, well, if I bring her over here, he's really being wicked, but he got the type of personality is like a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, like, oh, hello, la, la. And I try to be very cordial, but the wicked part about it is that he told me that he would let me stay. And he asked me, he was like, because I was trying to leave that night when he said he was going to bring her over here to have sex with her because I wouldn't do it without the condom. Oh, shit. I gotta go.
To the gym.
You finna go to the gym?
Yeah, I'm gonna eat something.
Where'd she go?
I'll be right. Shit, I dropped off at work.
Oh, okay. I'll be right back. So she has a job, and I don't have a job. I told him, I said, well, I need to order my identification, and I can get a job because I've had jobs on my channel. You can see she had jobs. She's willing to work. So I come over here away from the house to finish this video. Y'all know I look a mess. I just woke up. It's like 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning, y'all. But anyway, so as a woman, you just get trafficked sometimes, and it's like, even though people might not be putting a gun to your head, they don't understand, like, you need somewhere stable to be, and then people just try to take advantage of your body from place to place, and then the organizations aren't really set up to really stop it. What's up? I'll be back in when I get off the phone. All right. So he just came all the way around the corner or whatever. I don't even know where I was when the video stopped. Okay, so where was I at, y'all? Oh, my identification. So I told him, I was like, my ID is missing. And I was like, well, yesterday I wanted him to order my ID and I give him the money because I don't have a debit card or anything. You can get a replacement ID online. That'll make sure I'm good even when I leave, so that I can get a motel again at least, And so I told him, I said, well, when he told me we could room it, I was like, can you please order my ID for me? He was like, well, I'll just take you up to DMV. I don't have a social. I don't have a birth certificate. If we can order it online and just get them to send a replacement here, then that'll be the best thing to do. And it's cheaper. So he was like, no, no, no. I'll just take you up there or whatever. And I was like, what's the big deal about ordering it online? And then so I told him it'll take about 2 weeks for it to come. So if you saying you'll let somebody be your roommate, he was like, when he was bringing the girl over here, I was just gonna leave that night because I was like, if it's that serious to where, you feel like you have to actually bring her inside of the house just because you want to have sex, and I wouldn't have sex with you without a condom, then I'll just leave. And so I was upset about being put in a position to where I would have to just leave like that about your dick. And he was just like, you can stay, you can roommate if you let me bring her over here and you just chill on the couch while we have sex. So he was like, it'll be over. Like, she'll be in and out. She ended up staying 2 nights. And I stayed on the couch the past 2 nights. And I agreed to it. Like, he was like, well, if I'm somebody and I know I just want the help, let me make sure he's not right here. But yeah, he was like, well, if I know that I just need the help, you know what I'm saying? I just need to go to work and have somewhere to lay my head, then I wouldn't give a fuck about my homeboy bringing a woman over and smashing her or whatever. So, I was just like, okay, that's fine. You can bring her over then if we're gonna roommate. And he was like, don't leave tonight. Let me bring her over here. So part of me feel like that was kind of wicked. Like you kind of just wanted to bring another woman in my face. Because then he turned around and said yesterday while she was here, he was like, oh well, I need to have you out of here by Sunday. And this when I asked him about my identification. So I told him, I was like, I'm going to go out and I'm going to give